Effects of climate change. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Redirected from climate damage. For effects of changes in climate prior to the current period of global warming, see historical climatology. Some climate change effects, clockwise from top left, wildfire caused by heat and dryness, bleached coral caused by ocean acidification and heating, coastal flooding caused by storms and sea level rise, and environmental migration caused by desertification. The primary causes, 1, and the wide-ranging impacts, 2, 3, of climate change. Some effects act as feedbacks that intensify climate change. 4. The effects of climate change span the impacts on physical environment, ecosystems, and human societies due to human-caused climate change. The future impact of climate change depends on how much nations reduce greenhouse gas emissions and adapt to climate change. 5. 6. Effects that scientists predicted in the past, loss of sea ice, accelerated sea level rise and longer, more intense heat waves, are now occurring. 7. The changes in climate are not uniform across the Earth. In particular, most land areas have warmed faster than most ocean areas, and the Arctic is warming faster than most other regions. 8. The regional changes vary. At high latitudes it is the average temperature that is increasing, while for the oceans and tropics it is in particular the rainfall and the water cycle where changes are observed. 9. Global warming changes regional climate via the melting of ice, changes in the hydrological cycle, such as rainfall, and changing currents in the oceans. Physical changes include extreme weather, glacier retreat, sea level rise, declines in Arctic sea ice, and changes in the timing of seasonal events, such as earlier spring flowering. Since 1970, the ocean has absorbed more than 90% of the excess heat in the climate system. Even if global surface temperature is stabilized, sea levels will continue to rise and the ocean will continue to absorb excess heat from the atmosphere for many centuries. 3. 20. The uptake of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is leading to ocean acidification. 3. 9. Climate change has degraded land by raising temperatures, drying soils, and increasing wildfire risk. 10. Recent warming has strongly affected natural biological systems. 11. Species worldwide are migrating poleward to colder areas. On land, many species moved to higher elevations, whereas marine species seek colder water at greater depths. 12. Between 1% and 50% of species on land were assessed to be at substantially higher risk of extinction due to climate change. 13. Coral reefs and shellfish are vulnerable to the combined threat of ocean warming and acidification. 14. Species biodiversity in urban areas are at risk due to the effects of climate change. Urbanization and industrialization have been linked to various factors of climate change such as pollution and temperature changes. 15. Food security and access to fresh water are at risk due to rising temperatures. Climate change has profound impacts on human health, directly via heat stress and indirectly via the spread of infectious diseases. The vulnerability and exposure of humans to climate change varies by economic sector and by country. Wealthy industrialized countries, which have emitted the most CO2, have more resources and so are the least vulnerable to global warming. 16. Economic sectors that are likely to be affected include agriculture, fisheries, forestry, energy, insurance, financial services, tourism, and recreation. 17. Some groups may be particularly at risk from climate change, such as the poor, women, children and indigenous peoples. 18. 19. They also have much lower levels of capacity for coping with the effects of environmental change. Climate change can result in environmental migration, especially in developing countries where people are directly dependent on land for food. 20.